I have some massive Star Wars news that I think is so massive, I have to share just how massive it is. Now, of course, it's all a rumor, but we'll get to that after the intro. Roll it. What's up, Net Soldiers? I'm Net Alliance. Welcome back to another video. Pretty much I'm just going to jump right into it. I believe that allegedly there is a rumor going around the internet that could be real or fake, but I'm going to believe it's real, that we're going to see Naboo in episode 9. Now, I think this is cool for multiple different reasons, and I'll get to the big reason later on, but for right now I'm just going to cover some of the things that I think are cool about this and why I think this is a good idea. First off, I think if they're going to put Naboo at any point, it'd be because of Leia's funeral. And yes, we do know that Leia is from Alderaan, but as you guys all know, Alderaan doesn't exist anymore, so that could kind of be a problem. But Naboo does exist, and Leia's mom, Padme, is from Naboo. So I think that'd be kind of like a good callback to her, you know, to really link the two characters together. Not only would it be a nice thing for Padme, but also be a nice thing for Leia to kind of go back and maybe possibly be buried next to her mother. You know, that was kind of what happened with Padme in episode 9. You know, she got buried on Naboo. So maybe Leia goes to, you know, get buried next to her mother. I think that'd be a really cool scene to do. Now, with Leia's funeral, there's going to be a bunch of different characters in attendance. We know that Rey is most likely going to be there. Poe is definitely going to be there for sure. Finn will be there. Maybe Rose will be there if she survived The Last Jedi. We'll see. I'm pretty sure she did, but you know, with the fan backlash, maybe she didn't. There's a new character being rumored that's going to be in. She's supposed to be like a new, strong female character because we need more of them. And I'm just joking, by the way. I just like to poke fun at people. And of course, I heard possibly Lando might show back up. Yep, he might be there for Leia's funeral, and then possibly through the rest of the movie. Lando's got to show up. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't have to be the biggest presence like a Han Solo character in The Force Awakens, but I want him to kind of be part of it. He's kind of like the last surviving cast member compared to like Leia, Luke, and Han. They're all dead now, technically speaking. I guess Luke could technically, he is dead, yes, but he can also come back in the Force Ghost, so it's kind of like not that big of a deal for him. But yeah, all the main cast is gone, so pretty much it comes down to, besides Chewie, of course, it comes down to Lando. I think if they're going to put this scene anywhere, if they're going to put the Leia funeral scene anywhere, it's going to be right in the beginning of the film. Naboo is going to be the very beginning of episode 9. I think it's a very intriguing and interesting idea. I think it also kind of meshes well with just the entire 9 episodes. If you think about it, episode 1 started at Naboo, right? Technically it started in space, but it was Naboo's space, so it was Naboo. And now episode 9 is going to start at Naboo. So I think it'd be a very, very poetic way as well. I think it would be paying homage to not only the prequels, but also to George Lucas for developing this entire galaxy and making it what it is. Say what you want about the prequels, but they are part of the Star Wars universe, and so even if you hate them, you have to at least respect them in that regard. But like I said, if they're going to put it anywhere, it's going to be right in the beginning of the movie. We're going to have our mourning period for Leia. The first scene is definitely going to be Leia's funeral. Everyone's sad, but then that's going to accelerate us into our next scene. I'm pretty sure it's going to take place a little bit after The Last Jedi. Like if you think about it, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi were legit right next to each other in time. I think that this next one is going to be probably like a 2 or 3 year gap. I think the story kind of needs that, and we've seen that Leia was actually able to reassemble many of the leaders who are many of the leaders of the Resistance to fight the First Order before her unfortunate death. I'm pretty sure they're just going to go with like a off-screen death, like she had a heart attack and died, something like that. Nothing too spectacular to kill her off. But I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do. It's probably the easiest way, storytelling wise, as well as because Carrie Fisher is passed on now. that it just makes the most sense to do it that way. Now, on to the main reason of this video. Besides talking about Naboo and the cool idea that it is that Leia could be buried next to her mother Padme, I want to see the return of Jar Jar. Come on, give us our Jar Jar Binks. You're going back to Naboo. Give us Jar Jar. Let's see him for maybe like 5 seconds. You don't got to put him in the rest of the movie. You know, you don't got to add him to the ensemble of characters, although I'd like to see what they do with him. Throw him in for 5 seconds, but I think a lot of people are thinking like, oh, they'll throw him in and then get him killed right away. Like, he'll have like Kylo kill him or something like that. I don't want to see Jar Jar die. I think that Jar Jar is a good representation, although you can say what you want about him. I think we're at the point where he's a good representation of the fun that goes into Star Wars. And yes, he's annoying, but it's the idea of his character kind of is presented as just a different character who's zangy and doesn't care. And I think that's a good, very impressive thing to send to Star Wars fans. The idea that, hey, you can like your Star Wars, I can like my Star Wars. We have different perceptions. We can perceive Star Wars how we want. So if you don't like the prequels, that's okay. If you don't like the sequels, that's okay. If you don't like the original trilogy, that's okay too. You can like what you want. And I think Jar Jar is a good representation of that. So I hope they don't bring him back just to kill him, you know? Because in a way, what you're doing is, yes, you're kind of doing like a, haha, we got the prequels. There you go, guys. Haha, you're welcome. But it's more of like, haha, there goes all the fun. You know, there goes any type of representation of what you like of Star Wars. If you like the prequels, well, screw you. That's pretty much what that says to me. And I think that's wrong. Like I said, no matter if you like it or you hate the prequels, I don't think that should be mistreated like that. Give Jar Jar 5 seconds, have him show up on screen in the background. You know, at least just present him somewhere. I don't want him to overdo it, but I do want to see him. So it's funny to say this because I never thought we'd ever see Jar Jar again. But if we're actually going to go back to Naboo, show a little Jar Jar. Don't be afraid, JJ Jar Jar, Jar Binks, JJ Binks. Just don't be afraid to have fun with it, JJ. You know, if you're going to Naboo, you gotta throw Jar Jar in there, even if he's in there for 5 seconds. That's all I'm asking. He doesn't have to do anything big. He doesn't have to become a big character. You know, I prefer you don't kill him, but I just kind of want to see him back. I think it would just be a fun thing to see. Something that we just wouldn't be expecting, and I think it'd be cool. So that's it for this video. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of announcements. People have talked about how Naboo might be in Episode 9, but no one has actually considered the idea that if Naboo's in Episode 9, we can get some Jar Jar too. So let's see it. Like I said, it is important to remember that no matter how you want to take Star Wars, if you want to consider it a serious franchise or if you want to consider it a kid franchise, whatever the case, remember it's always important to have fun with your movies, be entertained. And I think that's one of the main problems with The Last Jedi is that it took itself too serious, and so we got what we got. So Episode 9, do a return to form, JJ. Bring it home, end the saga on a high note, make everything better, and have fun, because that's the most important part. Like Jar Jar always did. He was always having fun. You can hate him all you want, but his character was always having fun, so that's the way it goes. Did I just honestly make a video defending Jar Jar? But that's it for the video, guys. What do you want to see in Episode 9? Do you want to see Jar Jar? Do you want to see Naboo? Do you want to see Leia being buried next to her mother? I think that's a pretty cool scene. It could really be a really sad and cinematic scene for sure. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications for more videos. And something, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.